Good evening, believers. How are you doing? This is Love Coach Dasha. I'm coming to you live with the Healing Hour Live. I hope you're here with me today. If you're here with me, give me likes, give me hearts. If you're here on the replay, definitely hit me with the hashtag replay and likes and hearts too. Then it makes me happy to see that. If you don't know who I am Love Coach Dasha, and I am here to help you get on the healing path after infidelity. You have been through the trauma of being cheated on. And it's rough, it's hard, it's difficult to get over. But you have somebody that you really love that you would like to work things out with. And if you are really trying to work things out with that person and you feel like they are important to you, they are your person, they are the person that you feel close with, they are the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, then that is going to require you getting past this, right? It's going to require you getting past the fact that they cheated on you. And that's a very difficult thing to get past. A lot of people will not teach you how to do that. They'll just tell you to leave. And I am not one of those people. I am going to tell you all that I know personally from getting past it because I did it. I did move past cheating myself. My husband cheated on me for the first 4 years of our relationship, but we have been together for 20 altogether. So the amount of time that he cheated was way less than the amount of time that we've actually been together. So that's, of course, one of the first things that I want to let you know. If you are going through this, if you are having a hard time and you are trying to figure out if you want to do this or not, or if what everybody says is true, once a cheater, always a cheater, they'll never change. If you want to know if that's true or not, I am here to tell you that that is not true. That is not the case. People change all the time. People change all the time. And so, what we want to do is get on the healing path. Let me make sure I am live on Instagram too, just so you know. We're doing the Healing Hour live with Love Coach Dasha, and I am streaming live in my Love After Cheating Facebook group. Hello, believers. How are y'all doing today? I am streaming live on YouTube, and I'm also streaming to IGTV. So if you don't have me on Facebook, please do get me. Come to my Love After Cheating group. If you are not with me on Instagram, come follow me on Instagram. I got good stuff going on here. Got I'm playing with the reels and having fun with that on Instagram. I do a word of the week, which is a video which is just for YouTube, and we do the Healing Hour live right here. You will be able to talk to me directly from the group and let me know what you want to talk about in the Healing Hour live if you join my group. So there's so many ways that you can come and talk to me, and I want you to do all of them. I want to be able to help you to get on the healing path after infidelity. You've been through this, you have been through a serious trauma, and I'm going to help you figure out how to recover from it, how to get to the place where you feel like, okay, this is the person that I love, and I think I can forgive them. I think we can get past this. I want to get you to that point. Mindy! Mandy's here. Hi, Mandy. Oh, goodness. Oh, Mindy, you're on. I think you're on the old one. I think you're on the one from last week, Mindy. Come on over to the other one for today. Ah, hold on. Let me make sure it's going. It should be. Everything is lined up on this end. Let me make sure, Mandy, if you hear me. Oh, there we go. Oh no, no, that's not. Hmm. Okay, that's weird. All right. Why is it coming up on the one from last week? Not sure about that. But Mandy, if you can hear me, come on over into the event. I made the event. You can come to the event and you can catch up with it. That is so weird. Facebook's doing something weird. It won't let me move off the same page. It keeps showing me the same thing. All right. Let's see. There we go. All right. Let me tell her, look for the other one. Uh, for tonight. Let's look live for tonight. Okay. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see. All right. I hope she finds us. All right. Because I really like people popped up for a second, but then they disappeared. So I don't know why it keeps showing last week's, but that's all right. Hopefully everybody will catch up and come on over here to where we are live streaming. And if you can't catch it on the Love After Shooting group, you can catch it on IGTV or YouTube. So hey, it doesn't matter. You will catch up with me somehow or another. All right. So, I am here to talk to you about getting on a healing path after infidelity, trying to get yourself to the point where you can feel like you can forgive the person that you love for betraying you this badly, for hurting you this badly. You can heal. Don't let anybody make you believe that you can't heal from this. You can absolutely heal from this. And they say, "Oh, will you never be the same person again?" Well, no, of course not. You are supposed to learn and grow and become the person that you're going to become. Just because you're not happy about the circumstances that you have to grow through doesn't mean that you can't get past them. Doesn't mean that they are not going to be crucial to who you become as a woman. So don't stress out about that. Just come on, be with me, and let's travel on down the healing path together, okay? All right, so first things first, as always, the two things that I always tell you that I want you to do, I want you to be doing every single day. That's why I mention it every single week, because I want you to be doing this. The first two things that we're going to talk about are doing your deep breathing and doing your journaling. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Have you been doing your deep breathing over there on IG? Have you been doing your journaling over here on Facebook? You need to be doing that. If you're not doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice. You are not giving yourself some tools, some critical, basic tools to help you get past this trauma. Those two things are going to help you center, help you bring you back into the present so that you're not living in that trauma anymore and letting some of this stuff out of you, letting it go, not having to hold it in forever. So we need to be on this, need to be doing this. The first thing we're going to do is do our deep breathing together. And I do a 4-step technique, but you can pick whatever breathing technique you want. It does not matter as long as you're doing it. I say 5 times a day, just so you remember. That's an easy number to remember. 5 times a day. You can do that. You can do that first thing when you wake up, then when you're about to go to bed at night, then about 3 other times during the day. And I need you to be doing that consistently because it's not going to work if you just randomly decide to do a deep breath all of a sudden. No, you need to be doing that consistently. You need to be making it so that's part of your life. It's part of how you think during the day. Like, oh, I need to be doing my deep breathing because it's going to bring that anxiety level down from way up here and it's going to slowly start pushing it down every single day. The more that you practice it, so that you can get to the point where it's even, it's down here where you can manage it and you are not feeling overwhelmed all the time. Okay. So, doing our deep breathing, we're going to do 4-7-8 breathing. We're going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles and make the sound because that sound is going to become a trigger for your brain. That sound is going to become, oh, I'm calming down now. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4, usually through your nose. But if you can't breathe through your nose, allergies, sinuses, or whatever, I understand. Just breathe through your mouth for a count of 4. Then you're going to hold that breath for a count of 7. You need to give your body a second to use the oxygen you just breathed in. Most of the time when you're anxious, you will hyperventilate. You are breathing out all the oxygen before you can use it. Okay? So what we need to do is calm down, use that oxygen by holding our breath for about 7 seconds, and then we're going to blow out for a count of 8. Same thing, I want you to be blowing, making that noise with your mouth. That's going to be your signal that you're doing okay. Makai's mom, how you doing over there on Instagram? I see you, girl. Hey, glad you're here with us today. Who is this over on Facebook? Is that Mindy? Did you find this, Mindy? Making sure that's you, or hey, I don't know who it is on Facebook because I can't see just yet. But whoever it may be, I'm glad you're here with me. Make sure that you're give me likes, give me hearts, let me know that you're here. Okay, we got a comment on it. There we go. How come the comment is not coming up? That is interesting. It's not come up. All right, Peggy, there we go. Peggy said, "Hey, how you doing, Peggy? I'm glad you're here with me too. This is beautiful. I love having you here with me. I'm so glad that you're here. We're gonna do our deep breathing together. So come join me. Do your deep breathing. I'm gonna blow out. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, and then blow out for 8. Okay, 3 times, real quick. Blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful, lovely, wonderful. I'm so glad that you're here with me doing your deep breathing. Let me know. How do you feel when you do your deep breathing? How is that going for you? Peggy, let me know. My cuz mom, Felicia, how's it doing? How's it going for you when you do that deep breathing? How does it feel? How does it help you cope? Let me know. And I want to hear from everybody who's doing the deep breathing. If you just started trying it and you're like, dang, I didn't realize this was going to make me feel so much better, message me. Let me know that it's working for you because I love hearing good news. Okay. That's one of my favorite things. I love to hear good stuff from everybody. I have been talking to women all week who have been telling me that they have been deep breathing, but it's been one of those weeks. I think it was the full moon. I think it's just that, what was it? Mercury retrograde ended. I think it was a whole bunch of stuff going on. People were having a hard time just dealing this week, and that's okay. It's totally common. But when you're doing your deep breathing on a regular basis, you are able to calm yourself, to soothe yourself, to center yourself, and bring yourself back into this reality, not the past. Guys, mom said it always works, but I have to be consistent. That's exactly. Exactly what you got to do. That is how it works. If you're not doing it on a regular basis, then you're not really teaching your brain what you want. You want to be, as long as you're healing, you want to be teaching your brain what you want it to do. And you want your brain to calm down. So when you're doing your deep breathing, you need to be thinking about calm thoughts, bringing that anxiety level down, and telling your brain that this is what we're doing, and then be consistent about it, because if you're consistent about it, your brain will believe you. Your brain will believe anything you tell it to believe, just as long as you do it consistently. All right. Same way with the negative thoughts, right? It's super easy for you to believe the negative thoughts, isn't it? Because your brain will believe what you tell it to. Peggy said, better. I'm using it with my emotional healing sessions with my Reiki practitioner too. Excellent. Yes. Those go together anyway. Reiki, I'm sure they do. They have you do deep breathing and everything too. I found I had my first massage on my birthday in June, and I found that I was just doing the deep breathing along with it. So as he's working on a knot, I just exhaled and released and let go. And then that knot just kind of slipped away when I just breathed with it. So breathing is good for you, okay? I know that is one of those things that you always do. And it seems like that's a stupid thing to think that is good for you, but you have to slow down and feed your body oxygen on a regular basis mindfully in order to be calm, in order to be centered, okay? So not just, regular sitting around the house breathing because you have to breathe. I'm talking about real deep breathing, filling up your lungs, stretching them out. That is a good way to prevent pneumonia. There's so many things that deep breathing can do physically and emotionally. So just go for it, okay? Do it. Do it. All right. Second thing is your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you been sitting down with yourself for about 5 minutes in the morning, in the evening, and actually thinking about your feelings, writing them down on paper. Have you been doing that? If you haven't been doing that, you need to get on that, okay? You need to get on your journaling because it's going to help you. Again, another thing to help you deal with the trauma. You have been through this trauma. You deserve good tools to help you get past it. And if you are journaling, what you're doing is you're pouring out all of that negativity that's building up in your brain. You have a little sounding board. You can go back and read it later on and see if what you said made sense. Some of the time, what you're writing down doesn't end up making sense. It is the most amazing thing when you go back and you read what you wrote and you're like, oh, that sounds a little crazy. But it's good for you because then you know that sometimes the trauma, the grief, the betrayal, and the pain is going to make you not necessarily do and say what you think you're doing and saying. So it's good to have always do your date, your time, so that you have some reference about what happens when, and then your anxiety level 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. Everything is fine. God's in His heaven, all is right with the world. 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, or I'm screaming down the street naked. That is a 10. You are at a loss of control at a 10. Chances are you won't be journaling if you're a 10, but if you're sitting down with your journal, you got your journal open, you got your pen ready, and you're like, I'm ready to journal, you can automatically tell yourself, oh, I'm not at a 10, because you won't be able to do that at a 10. You won't be able to sit still and just be able to do that at a 10. Like you said, doing that too. Good, good, good. More consistent in the journaling than with the deep breathing. That's okay. Sometimes it's a little off sometimes, but make sure that you're remembering the deep breathing. Try and, before you start the journal, do your deep breathing. If you're consistently doing the journaling, then that'll be a sign to do the deep breathing too. Makai's mom. Okay, hold up. Let me do questions. I'm gonna do questions in a second. Hold on. All right. Journaling, of course, I always show you my pretty journals. A little plush journal, itty bitty. Look at this. This, what are these? $3, $4 at Walmart. You can keep it in your pocket. You can journal on this. Ones that have prompts in them. I think somebody just got this for the last contest we did. Oh, look, a cute one I got. You saw the Golden Girls one before. Look at the one I got. I got a Stitch journal. Isn't that adorable? Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter what journal you use. Doesn't matter what pen you use. Just write. Put stuff down. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Felicia, I'm gonna answer you just because it's. I don't want to forget. You said you had a question. Is it wrong to check in with your partner from time to time to ask if there is someone in the picture instead of letting things move without knowing anything? Or don't ever ask. No, don't ever ask. Don't do that. No. You are telling the person, I believe that there's somebody else in the picture. That's why I'm asking you this. I automatically believe that you have somebody else going on in the background. If you don't have any reason to think that, then why ask that? So if you're trying to work on the trust thing, just asking. If you don't trust them, then would you believe them? And if you do trust them, then you wouldn't ask. So no, don't do that. Okay, is that helpful? Right? She's laughing at me. But yeah, no, don't ask that. That's not a good question to ask. All right, let's find a better question to ask with the and deck. Let's do that real quick. All right. Yes, let's find a better question to ask your honey. I'm shuffle about half this deck. I'm not even gonna shuffle the whole deck. This is a huge deck of cards. Let me show you. This is the deck of cards that you get with the and this is the healing edition. Honey, let me tell you, there are plenty of cards in here, plenty of other questions we could ask besides, are you seeing somebody else? We don't want to do that. We have already, you and him have already discussed that you are together. So no, there's not anybody else. You are the queen. You got that spot. That's who it is. It's you. All right. Let's see. All right, shuffle a couple times here. Show off my casino skills. Oh, that didn't work good that time. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do 3 of these. All right. All right. First question is going to be, when was the last time you misunderstood me, and what have you learned from it? That's actually a very good question. There's some very thoughtful questions in here. That's a good one right there. I'll show you on the screen. Can you see that? When was the last time you misunderstood me, and what have you learned from it? I don't know if you can say. There you go. All right. So ask your honey that. When was the last time you misunderstood them too? That's a good point. Little misunderstandings happen every single day. It could be I told you it was 11:30. No, you told me it was 10:30. Stuff like that. And a lot of those misunderstandings you can't really do too much about. If you thought you said something or you did say something and they did not perceive it that way, you can't go back and tell them that their perception was wrong. That leads to an argument. So a lot of the time with those misunderstandings, you just got to say, okay, and agree to disagree and move on. All right. All right. Let me see. What's another good question? He said, how do you know when I'm having a great day? Oh, I like that one. How do you know when I am having a good day? A great day, it says. Because I'm a smiley girl. So I have been recently, when I feel really good, I just sit there and tell them, I'm like, hey, you know what? I feel like a boss today. It's a good day for me. He said he was going to say often. Yeah, it's just vocalizing it and telling your partner that you're having a good day and things are going well is a good thing, especially after so much pain has been in your lives. If you will consistently tell them that yes, I'm feeling good. I don't have any complaints today. Things are going well. They'll be happy about that. They want to know that. And you'll be um, honoring your feelings and speaking them aloud and saying that that's what is happening with you. And so then you're telling your brain too. You're not just telling your boo, you're telling your brain. All right. And then question number 3. Let's see. Almost dropped it. All right. What do you think there is for others to learn from our relationship? Isn't that an interesting question? What do you think there is for others to learn from our relationship? I like that. That's a good one. I hope people learn from our relationship that people can change. I hope that people understand that you can love who you love in spite of them being an idiot. Okay, you can consistently go forward with your relationship even if things aren't going well. So I hope those are good things that people learn about their relationships dealing with me and my honey. If you have ever known us, I mean, we're a pretty happy couple for the most part, but we did have issues. And now it's way, way better. It's way, way better. And I want people to know that it can be way, way better. All right. That's the last phase of healing from infidelity is being an inspiration, telling other women, hey, guess what? It can work out just fine. It can be fine. And you can be happy again. And I know because I've done it and I want you to know and I want you to be able to go down that path. You want to share with other people when you have been successful on the healing path, you want to tell people. All right. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts and the likes. I appreciate all of that. Let me see. Oh, it's Thirsty Thursday. Let me tell you a little Thirsty Thursday news. Guess what? It is on Thirsty Thursday. It is also Beth's 51st birthday. I know that's right, Beth. Get it, girl. I hope you're out partying right now. I see you're not with me right now. I hope you are out partying up. I know your daughter was coming, but I hope you were out having a ball tonight. I'm going to raise a glass to you tonight after I get off. I will raise a shot of tequila for you. Usually I do champagne on the Thirsty Thursday post, but I only got tequila right now. So I'll do a shot of tequila for you for your birthday. And you know, for Thirsty Thursday, I always want you all to celebrate the good stuff. I always want you to remember that there is good stuff because when you've been through a trauma, your brain will try and shut you down to the good stuff. It will try and make you believe that nothing good ever happens to you. And you just never have a good time and nothing is good and nothing is positive in your life. And that's a lie. That is not true. That could not possibly be the case. We all get good stuff and we all get bad stuff. When you start paying attention to the good stuff, participating in the good stuff, appreciating the good stuff, it becomes a little easier. You're not so stressed out anymore about the bad stuff because you realize that you have good stuff going on too. That's life. It's not like you're going to get all good stuff. I'm sorry. It would be wonderful if that would happen. But the thing is, if you get all good stuff in your life, you don't really appreciate it. It takes some of the bad stuff to really drive home how good the good stuff is. Okay. I told my husband the other day, it was strange, but I told him, I was like, I appreciate you for making life hell for a good little while. And he just looked at me and he was like, oh, what is this? Now, come on now. I was like, I'm saying though, you made it so that I learned things that I never would have learned before. I never would have learned how to help you along the healing path if he hadn't done that. And I learned things about my own patience and about my own will and about how strong I am. And I never would have learned that. Never would have happened. I would have still been the same person that I was then. I wasn't a bad person, of course. I don't think I was a bad person, but I got to grow into something bigger and better than I thought that I was going to be. I thought I was going to be a nurse for the rest of my life. Who knew that I was going to start being a relationship coach and working with women who are dealing with infidelity? I didn't know that until it actually happened to me. So, I am appreciative of the bad things that happen just for that reason, just for the fact that they make you grow, they push you forward, they get you to a different place than you would have been ordinarily. So I want you to, try and appreciate bad stuff. Makai Smile said, yes, never would have learned to put me first. Yeah, and love myself more and to not be so insecure. I know, right? I probably would have been super insecure still if I hadn't been through this. I was the girl, like, I always had to talk. We always had to be talking. If we weren't talking, then I was sitting in my brain thinking, what is he thinking about me? Why isn't he talking? Does he like me anymore? He doesn't want to be with me, does he? He's thinking how terrible I am in his head because that's why he's not talking to me. None of that was so. Not a bit of it. Not a single solitary word of that was true. Um, my husband would just be sitting and chilling. He would just be happy to be in the same room with me, and he didn't feel the need to talk. I have learned that. And honey, do you know how freeing that is to be in the same room with your honey, with the person that you love very, very much, and not be required to talk? Oh, it was something else when I finally got to that point where I was like, I am comfortable not talking. It became a beautiful thing. I sometimes I'm really too quiet around him, I think. Sometimes I need to talk more, but it's beautiful just to be able to be with him and then reach out to him and hold his hand or pat his butt or rub his head and let him know that I know he's there with me, but we don't have to actually talk. We don't have to actually sit there and conversate for it to be for us to be close. And I was very insecure about that before, and I realize now that that is something that women are very insecure about because we are communicators by nature. Our brains developed that way. When we were cave people, we were back at the camp with the kids and the old people, and we had to talk, and we had to teach the kids to talk, and we had to talk to the old people, we had to talk to each other, we had to get tasks done. And the men were out in the jungle, and they couldn't talk. They had to hunt. You can't be making a whole bunch of noise hunting. You can't do that. So our brains just develop differently. The other day, my son, he's 13 now. He was in the car with me. He was just sitting there. He was very, very quiet. I looked over at him and I was like, are you thinking anything or are you just being quiet? He was like, I'm just being quiet. And I was like, yeah. I said, you don't have anything on your mind at all? And he was like, no, nothing at all. I was like, oh, okay. So it starts when they're young. Okay, all right, I see. Okay, cool. Nothing. And he did not feel the need to have anything on his mind. He just let his mind go. And women, wouldn't that be great if you could just let your mind go? That would be so good, wouldn't it? It feels good when you're able to do it. He said, Makai's mom said, that's how I thought. I used to always feel scared when he isn't with me, and if I don't have access to him via phone, video chat, then he's with somebody else. Gotta be, right? But now I know he has to live his life and has his personal time, and so do I. God knows. Yeah, amen, girl. Saying some things there. Amen. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to have personal time, and they have to have personal time too. You cannot just totally live your entire life wrapped up in your relationship. It doesn't work that way. You will never get anything done. Okay? When you first fell in love, there was a chemical reaction that was going on. The way you feel when you first fell in love, do you remember that? You remember how you felt? You remember how you felt like your heart was pounding out of your chest every time you saw them, and your mouth went dry, and you couldn't think of anybody but them, and your whole world revolved around them. Do you know why that is? That is because your body tricked you. That is because your body threw every chemical it could. It threw the dopamine and the serotonin. It was hitting you left and right with a combination of hormones that made you feel that good. It is equivalent in like the obsession part of it. It is equivalent to being high on drugs when you first fall in love. That is what your body is doing. Your body is doing the same thing it would be doing if you were taking drugs to you just because you fell in love. All right. So that happens, but that eventually has to wear off. You cannot stay like that forever, or else you would die. If you were consistently so obsessed about your honey, you would not eat, you would not sleep, you would eventually just perish because you have been so stuck on whatever it is that they've got going on. So I need you to understand that that's a temporary type of feeling. You are not supposed to feel like that all the time. That they have to be in your face all the time for you to be safe, for you to feel good. That's another thing too. A lot of women say that they lost their safety because their mate cheated. Okay, your safety should not be anybody else's responsibility. Okay, we have been taught safety stuff all of our lives, haven't we? Haven't you been taught every year since you were able to, go out on your own, all the things that you're supposed to do to feel safe as a woman? Your safety has to do with you. It doesn't have to do with anybody else. So your safety is supposed to come from inside. So when you have been depending on another person for your safety, you've been doing yourself wrong. You have been, that is an insecurity. That was, I'm not good enough to give myself safety, so I have to find it in a mate. And that's not cool. That is not a good way to live because it can get snatched away just like it did. Well, when you have that security inside yourself, when you have that safety coming from inside you, then you can't ever lose it. It doesn't ever go anywhere. Nobody can betray you and make you lose it because it's coming from you. Chances are you're not betraying yourself. And even if you do betray yourself, you made that decision, so you weren't stressed about it. So you got to remember that your safety is supposed to come from in you. And Kai's mom said, oh my God, it's crazy. I can admit this is probably the best part of our relationship now rather than then. That's how it goes. And we spend our time trying to love and impress each other while still being broken from our past life. Yeah, we're all broken. We're all broken, huh? We're every single one of us. I have not met a person yet that was not broken in some way, shape, or form. And that's just the human condition. We were all raised differently, and we were all, dealing with all of the stuff. We've all been traumatized. We've all dealt with issues. And so I think we're all broken. And that's the whole point of loving somebody unconditionally, to get to the place where you're like, I don't care about your brokenness. I don't care about it at all. I care about you as a person. I just want to love you as a person. And when you get to that place and they do that back to you, it's a beautiful thing. He said, after he cheated, I was hurt. Our old relationship died so a new one can be reborn. Exactly. People always say it's a new relationship. I don't know if it's a new relationship, especially when they say it's like a new marriage. I don't know if it's necessarily new. It's just discovering more of it. It is realizing it was deeper than you thought it was back then. Back then, you thought it was super deep, right? You were like, oh my God, this person this is the deepest thing I've ever felt before, ever. And you thought that that was as deep as it could go. And then this happened and you hurt. And then as you heal, you will realize, oh my God, you know how much deeper it could have been back then? I did not know. I had no idea that it could have been that deep. So as you're learning, as you're growing, coming back together, it's going to be so many good times. And you're going to be like, oh man, I wonder if it could have been like this if all of that hadn't happened. And I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it's possible, again, to have the good without the bad. You know, some bad things have to happen to you for you to really appreciate the good. And I don't know if our relationship would be the same if all of this had never happened. So I don't know. I don't know how it would be. I think it would be very different than it is now. I think I would still be pretty insecure because I was insecure before the cheating. I was already there. I think it would be a lot more difficult now if this all hadn't happened. Hey, if you're over here on Facebook, if you're in my Facebook group, Love After Cheating, say hey, give me some likes and love and all of that stuff. Don't see any other comments over there. Let's see. What else we got going here? I had a question from, let me find it, from Lala, and I missed it last week. Lala was asking me how to get over the hurt, I think. I think that was what it was. Do I have any questions from this week? I don't think I do. If you got any questions, let me know. Tell me. I want to hear from you. You know I love hearing everything you have to tell me. Good or bad. Let me know. You know it's Thirsty Thursday. I love to hear good stuff too. I love to hear the positive. Eh, of course I can't find it now. Of freaking course. That's how it always works. I think Lala was saying that, how can she get past this? How can she get past the hurt? I think she said they were together for 22 years and she's stressing over how to get past this. And what I always teach you about is the dreams formula. And we've been over the D and the R the last 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and go over the E this week. The dreams formula is the formula that I made up after I dealt with the trauma of infidelity and healing. I created a formula of the stuff that I had to keep doing to stay on the healing path. That makes sense. The stuff that I kept on doing, like if I forgot about it, if I did not do it, if I, let it slip, then my healing would slip. So I took all of the things that I was like, yes, I have to have these things and put them into the dreams formula. So the D and the R, the D is for decide. You have to decide what you want. You have to decide whether you want to love this person or whether you want to punish this person. Do you want to be together or do you not? And the sitting on the fence thing, it's a very difficult position to be in. If you can make a decision one way or the other, you will be a lot more calm and settled, because that indecision will play into all of the negatives that your brain will tell you. Your brain has been traumatized, and so what it's trying to do is trying to keep you from being hurt again. It's going to tell you any and everything it can possibly tell you, negative and otherwise, lies, all of that, to be able to back away from the person that you're with and not open yourself up to them again so that you won't be hurt again. All right. So your brain is telling you that. And if you add in, I don't know if I want to stay, I don't know if I want to go, and you keep on being on the fence about that, your brain will take that and use that as ammunition. Well, of course you should go. That's the only thing that makes sense. And you're stupid. Your brain will tell you that. You're stupid if you think that you should be able to stay with this person because they hurt you and that's not appropriate. You shouldn't do it. So your brain will feed off of that indecision. So make the decision, run with it. Okay. If you don't want to be together, I get that. I understand that. But if there's something in you and you're like, I do want to be with this person, I think that's what I want, just make that decision. Say that that's what you're going to do and then follow through with it, because the decision is a big part of the battle. When you just go ahead and say, this is what I want to do, and make your brain follow along and come along for the ride, your brain will eventually be okay with it. It will eventually calm down to the point where you can deal with the relationship in a positive manner. So I'm all for just making the decision that you're going to stay around. R is for recognizing fear speech. You need to recognize when it's happening, okay? It's going to come from outside you and it's going to come from inside you too. It's going to come from other people, of course. You know, you have heard how many people. Peggy said the other day, Peggy said in the group the other day, half the people will say, no, you can get past this. And half the people will say, oh, absolutely not. You should not get past this. Leave them, get them to the curb, run. And that's their fear speech. When they are saying that to you, that's their fear speech. They are taking what they would feel like in the situation, and they may be in the situation, but they are taking what they would feel like and projecting their fears onto you and hoping that you have the strength to do what they don't have the strength to do. Because they keep saying leave, but I bet you anything, they're still there. Okay? So many women will tell you, leave, you should just go, you shouldn't be with that person anymore. But come to find out, they've been through it with their mate too. So, don't listen to all that. Don't listen to all that fear speech from outside, and don't listen to the fear speech from inside you either. Your brain is going to tell you negative things. It's going to tell you negative thing after negative thing just to try to get you away from that person because they don't want you to be hurt anymore. That's the only reason your brain is doing all this. It is a trauma response. That's what's happening. So we're not going to listen to the trauma response. We're not going to do what the fear wants us to do. So you got to recognize that, that sounds like fear. That sounds like back away, run, be scared, be the victim. That's what that sounds like. When you recognize it and challenge it, that's when you start to get past it. That's when your brain stops telling you those awful things all the time. All right. Then today is the E. We'll talk about the E of the dreams formula is whew, evaluating the why. The why. Oh, the call of the why, right? Why did this happen? Why did he do this? Why? Why did this happen? And the thing is, we always want to blame ourselves, and that's your brain. That's the trauma response trying to make it your fault so that you'll leave. So that you, well, if it's all your fault, then you're the one that's in the wrong. So you should just go. Okay, it's gonna keep on doing that to you. But what I found are there are three reasons that usually that men cheat on women, and they're pretty simple. All right, sick, sad, stupid. All right, those are the three. All right, sick is really sick, really sick. Issues with their brain, mental illness, real physical illness. People who have like had heart attacks will go cheat because like it confronts their mortality all of a sudden. People who have chronic illnesses will tend to cheat because it's like, oh, can I do something to make myself feel better? Can I do this? It's like self care, whatever. So all types of things happen when people are sick, and hormones too. Let me mention that people just don't realize women, we are taught to deal with our hormones. Men are not taught to deal with their hormones. So they think when their hormones are flipping out that that's real. And it's not. It's just their hormones tripping out, making them feel like they are crazy and they need to go have sex with somebody. So they don't know that. They don't get taught that when they're young. No man sits them down and says, okay, once a month your testosterone level is gonna go down a little bit and you're gonna feel less manly than normal. Nobody tells them that, but that's the truth. That's what happens. And you, my dear, can actually track that. If you get that time of the month where he's just being bitchy for no reason and you're like, what the hell is wrong with him? You can mark it down in the calendar and come back that next month. I bet you anything it's that same week. His testosterone is low. He's got PMS, just like you get PMS. All right. um, let's see. Peggy, you said you had to stop and breathe. Yeah. And then shut down the fear speech. Good, good, good. I'm still getting triggered by things occasionally, but not nearly as often. And I'm getting over those triggers quicker now. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, Peggy. That is exactly how you heal. Say it again for the people in the back. That is exactly how it happens. You have to you have to stop, you have to recognize what's going on, and then you have to do something about it. So you sit down with your journal, you do your deep breathing, you recognize, okay, then I'm being triggered right about now. This is how I'm feeling, and this time I'm triggered, and what happened that made me feel triggered, and go back and trace it back and give yourself some clues about what is happening to you. So that's exactly how you do it. It's a step at a time. It is practice. And the triggers will get fewer and further in between, and there will be more and more peacetime in between times where you feel like you want to kill them. It gets better and better and better the more you work on it. All right. All right. So back to the E. The E is evaluating why. We got the sick part. So usually, that's what the wedding vows entail, the sickness and health thing. If they're really actually sick, I mean, honestly, they're not completely in control of what they have done because they were actually sick. All right. So then there is the sad of it all. That is usually a loss of some kind. They have lost something or someone or themselves. They feel like they have lost their sense of who they are. They feel like they have lost the life that they were going to live. They feel like they have lost you. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes they feel like we're not having a good time together. We're not okay. Things are not going well. So I have lost her, and that grief for that will rear its head. Losing a child, couples losing children, that's always a really tough thing. So all of that type of stuff, a loss of some kind, and people have been going through so many losses with COVID. You're actually losing people, like actually dying. So it's not just metaphorical loss; it's real loss going on all around the country right now. So there is that, and that does cause you, because grief makes you do crazy stuff. That's why people end up having sex in funeral homes, because grief makes you do crazy stuff. And then there is stupid. Stupid is more about the things that we are all taught before, when we are young, before we get into relationships. That is what I'm talking about. Not stupid as in, oh, he was just stupid. That's too simple of an explanation. I mean, when men are young, and they are always told, like when they're really young, oh, you're gonna have all of the girls, aren't you? And you're so cute and you're so sweet, you're gonna have all the girls. And then when they're older, well, you should have lots of girlfriends. You shouldn't be able to settle down with anybody. You're a teenager. You should be with lots and lots of people. And the things that they see from their family, from the male role models. If all of the men in their lives are cheaters, that's what they're going to think is normal. If all of the women in their lives cheat, mom cheats. Mom cheated on dad. He's going to think that, oh, well, I should cheat first so that that person won't be able to get me, so that my mate won't be able to cheat on me because I already cheated. So those are the type of things that I'm talking about when I talk about stupid. So figure out what is your honey's reason. Sick, sad, stupid. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what it is that you figured out, because it could be a combination of all three. Honestly, it can be like a mix. It's a mixed bag sometimes, but sometimes it's just one thing. So let me know what you think you found that is their why. And then once you got that, let the why go. You know them very well. You know what's going on with them. What happens with the why? The why is like the call of the abyss. It keeps drawing you closer and closer to the edge. Okay. The more you sit there and focus on why, the longer you're going to take to heal. Because what your brain is doing is trying to throw the roadblocks up for you healing. It's like, oh no, if we don't know the exact reason, every thought that was going through his head when this happened, then we can't heal. Then it's telling you that just for that reason, just to keep you hurting, just to keep the trauma from healing. So you gotta try and evaluate the why, knowing what you know about the person that you love, and then release that, let that go. Decide that you're gonna love them in spite of all of that, in spite of all of their reasons. All right. Let's see. Peggy, you said today it was finding out yet another item in the house that was given to him by the AP that he forgot about. And chances are he really did forget. Chances are it wasn't that big a deal to him. It was a huge deal to her. And no, it was not snooping. Okay. See, I didn't even ask. See, you thought you automatically knew what I was think I normally say, but that wasn't even what I said. You said you weren't stupid. You were cleaning and rearranging the man cave and putting things back into the closet. And I asked him where he got this item. Not something he would have gotten for himself. Well, yeah. Oh, I wouldn't clean the man cave. Why you clean the man cave? You shouldn't have to do that. Hey, look, he's got his own space. When I have my she shed, nobody better go out there. I don't care if they're gonna clean or anything. Stay out of my stuff. So don't clean the man cave. Let him clean that. Shoot. But anyway, I understand that finding some stuff. He probably didn't even think twice about it. He is probably just been in the house. He didn't think twice about it. And when you brought it up, he was like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have kept that." But at the time, it probably didn't even mean all that much to him. That's the whole thing. It probably didn't mean that much to him. Beth, you're here with us. Hey, Beth. Beth said it was a mix of all three for you. Yes, it is. A lot of the time, it's a mix of all three, right? It's like they kind of overlap. It's like you get these different situations and different things going on in their brain and the stuff that they have dealt with their families. Like, talk to their family. If you know a good deal about their family, you know a good deal about their history. And when you find out those things, you're like, oh, I see why you thought this was a normal thing to do. Okay. It will clear it right up for you. Because mom said, I think it's three. But primarily it was sad. He felt like he was losing himself. So many of them say that. And he isn't where he wants to be in life. And he's just moving through life. Parts of his brain has disconnected. Exactly. It feels like to them, if they're not where they're supposed to be, what they do is they go chase after women because chasing after women it increases that testosterone level, makes them feel good about themselves, even when they're feeling bad about themselves. They don't realize that that's what it is. They think it's the woman. They think, oh, well, it had to be this woman. She made me feel so great about myself. It is not at all. It is actually their hormones. But of course, nobody tells men about hormones. Nobody teaches them that. And so they are at the mercy of them. And so when they go chase women, they get that surge of testosterone and it feels so good. And it makes them feel like they're complete and it makes them feel like there's nothing wrong with them and they are exactly where they're supposed to be. And they forget about the problems that they were thinking about when in reality, it was just the hormones and that will wear off. And then they'll be back exactly where they started. So yeah, that's exactly what happens to them. A lot of them. Peggy said he has difficulty getting up and down off the floor. Oh, with his balance. So I was helping to put things away in the closet. Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Yeah, all right. I guess you can clean the man cave then. But you know, I'm all about not making extra work for ourselves, okay? I am all for taking good self care and not cleaning up every damn thing, okay? I know we get into that headspace like we have to do it. If we don't do it, then other people won't do it. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta let that go. So I understand that, Peggy. I get what you're saying, but yeah. For the most part, for everybody else, if he's not having any physical difficulty getting around and cleaning up, that is an excuse. That, okay, he was sick. He had physical difficulty actually doing it. But yeah, otherwise, let them clean their own doggone man cave. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Any other questions? Oh, got my laughs over here with my Cosmom. Beth and Peggy, I'm so glad that you're here today. I knew there were other people, but I couldn't see who was here. Dang. I always like to see who's here. If you are in my Love After Cheating group, make sure that you go to what is it, StreamYard.com/Facebook. I use the StreamYard software. StreamYard, what it does is it shows me, it shows, me being recorded, but it shows me the people on Facebook as I'm looking at that screen. So I don't have to keep flipping back and forth between that screen and the actual group. All right. So, the other parts, let me just run through real quick because Lala, I'm going back to Lala's question about how you get over this. Those three things are the really super important ones. Those are the ones. The first two are all you. The last one, is about him, but it's going to be you figuring it out. And then there is the rest of the transformative. That's the A, which is allowing the healing to happen. Don't keep picking at the scab, is what that is. I was a nurse for 20 years, and there was always a saying, a wound can't heal unless you stop putting your fingers in it. So if you have this wound and you keep digging your finger down in there, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to heal. It's not going to heal, and it's going to get infected. Okay, so we need to keep our fingers out of that and allow that healing to happen. Oh, StreamYard, you already got it, Peggy. You already up here. I can see you, so you already got it. But StreamYard.com/Facebook is what you do for it to allow you. But you already did it because I can see you. Um, uh, yeah. Oh, you said you are choosing to be with me instead of watching Station 19 and Grey's Anatomy. I'm gonna cry for real, for real. You're recording it to watch later just to be with me. I feel like I'm gonna tear up for real on that one. That's so sweet. Thank you. I know how people feel about Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy fans, they're gonna watch. And if you chose to be here with me, I feel super special about that. Thank you. Let's see. The A is allowing the healing. The M is for maintaining or managing those triggers, managing the future feelings. You are going to have future feelings. Even when you feel like you've done really, really great, things are going well, you're going to have to deal with those triggers and have to deal with future feelings. And then the S is for support. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do for you. I am here to support you in your healing and getting on the healing path and staying on that path and getting to the point where you feel like I can love and I can trust and I can be open and I am not afraid anymore. And I don't want you to be afraid anymore. It's time to let that go. We are going to go down the healing path, let go of the fear. Do not do what the fear tells you to do and live your life. Be happy with the person that you're with because you deserve that. You do. You are good, good women. The fact that your heart is so big and that you were willing to even try, even consider forgiving after being betrayed like this, that speaks volumes about what kind of person you are, what kind of love you have to give. And I feel like I need to help you give that because I want you to be able to give all the love that you have to give anytime you feel like it, even though you've been hurt like this, okay? I don't want you to have to hold back any of this gorgeous love that you have within yourselves because you are still willing to give it even though you've been hurt. And that is the most remarkable thing I think I've ever encountered in life is that women are that forgiving and that loving and that open that they would say, okay, yeah, I'm hurt, but I want to forgive and I want to love you still and I'm going to move forward. That's a beautiful thing. And I did that. I did that. And it works. You can get there, okay? Don't feel like it's just hopeless. And there's going to be times where you feel a little hopeless, but remember that you absolutely can get there. You are going to be an inspiration to other women who never thought that they could get there either, all right? So that's what I want to do. I want to send forth women to be inspirations to other women to get on the healing path. All right. All right. So I think that's all. I think that's all the questions. I don't see anything else posted up here. I absolutely love being here with you all. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. We are going to be back again next week, same time, same channel. That is the 28th of October. I'm going to ask you what your Halloween costumes are next week. But for the meantime, stay on the healing path, make healing choices, do not do what the fear tells you to do, and let's end with an affirmation, shall we? Let's end with one of my favorite affirmations. One of my go-to affirmations was I am feminine, I am beautiful, I am desirable. All right. So take that with you as you go forward this week. I am feminine. I am beautiful. I am desirable. And carry that with you this week and believe it, okay? Because you are, all right? You really are. So believe your affirmations And don't do what the fear tells you to do. And I will check you out again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Healing Hour Live. And I will talk to you again then. All right? Bye, y'all. Oh, there we go.